Om Vakradunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Atha Tritiyodhyayah
Tatritiyodhyayah.
Shloka number 39 Avrutam Jnanametena
Avrutam jnanamedena
Jnanino Nityavairinam
jnanino nityavairina
Kamarupena Kaunteya
kamarubhena kaunteya
Dushpurena Nalena Cha
dushpurena nalena cha
Indriyani Manobuddhi
indriyani manobuddhihi
Asyadhisthanamuchyate
asyadhisthanamuchyate
Ete vimohayat yeshaha
ete vimohayateshaha
Jnanamavritya dehinam
jnanamavritya dehinam.
Jnanam etena avrutam. Knowledge is covered by this kama. So this kama, what is its locus, location? So when it is known, then it can be handled. So therefore, adhisthana, kamasya adhisthana uchyate indriyani manaha buddhihi. Being there, seated there, this kama deludes the person by covering his buddhi, jnana. So that is the shloka we are seeing. So kama covers the buddhi of the person. Atma doesn't have any kama. Atma is sada muktaha. Atma doesn't have any desire. Why it doesn't have desire? Because it is purnaha. Atma doesn't have any lack. It is complete. So what is incomplete that wants to complete? In fact, anatma also jadam. Anatma jadam, therefore anatma cannot attempt to become purna. It cannot become purna also. It is limited. That is why anatma. That which is limited is anatma, that which is not limited is atma. The limited cannot become unlimited. And unlimited cannot become limited. So atma which is purnam need not attempt to become purnam, already purnam. Anatma which is apurnam, that is its swarupa. It can always it's apurnam only. It cannot become purnam. So, and therefore atma doesn't have desire. Anatma cannot be fulfilled by any amount of desire. then where is the desire? This buddhi of this person, that is the locus of the desire. So that buddhi, that the buddhi is covered, the buddhi deludes, is deluded by the desire and makes the person feel as though he lacks, because it covers the knowledge of that oneself to be Atma. So therefore, a sense of lack, a sense of lack is cultivated. A sense of lack is cultivated, and therefore the person attempts to fulfill the lack. So therefore, really, there is no lack. Atma cannot have lack, and anatma is natural state is lack. So therefore, this buddhi, which is covered by kama, the buddhi of the person, the kama which covers the buddhi of the person. So that buddhi is a locus. So in the buddhi only, now this kama has to be handled because it is a locus. So the kama which covers the person, which covers the wisdom, jnanam of this person, being seated in the indriyani manaha buddhi. Indriyani manaha buddhi. Indriyani also included. Why it is included indriyani manaha also? Manaha buddhi, both are antakarna. Manaha is buddhi, different names for the same antakarna. Depending on the function, vritti veda, depending on the different function, because of the functional difference, the same antakarnam gets the name buddhi manaha. And indriyani brings in the data from the external world, indriya vishaya. So that because it brings, therefore, kama rises. Because of the contact with the indriya vishaya through the indriyas only there is contact with the indriya vishaya. So therefore, that also becomes a source of kama. So therefore, indriyani mano buddhi. But kama, really speaking, it is in the buddhi, the mind of the person. Indriyani just reports the indriya vishaya, the objects of the indriya. But anyway, indriyani also it is considered because once indriyas are habituated to indriya vishaya, so without the deliberation of the person, indriyani naturally goes because that is how it has been trained. As the horses, the trained horses follows path, already that trained path. So indriyani naturally will flow towards indriya vishaya without even being approved by the person, because that is how it has that is how it has flown so far. That is how it is directed by this person. Now it has become its habit. Therefore, indriyani also taken to be the adhisthana. So it means it shows the person doesn't have shama, that doesn't have dhamma. Dhamma meaning indriya nigraha. Shama is mano nigraha. The nigraha not there, therefore, with nigraha not there, that kama occupies the indriya and the buddhi and the manaha and takes the person for a ride. So therefore, that is here talked about adhishtanam. Now, if indriyas are the adhishtanam of the kama, then dhamma can be exercised. If manaha is the adhishtanam of the kama, manaha and buddhi, then shama. So therefore, why dhamma is, if mind control is, if managing the mind is difficult, at least from having contact with the indriya vishaya, indriyas can be restrained. That is forcefully by shutting down the indriyas, like closing the eyes or turning away from the objects or making oneself not available near the vicinity of the objects. So deliberation, that is dhamma. And manaha is withdrawal of the mind control, not making the mind, when making the mind obey one's order, not allowing the mind to flow or to entertain to, to the objects of desire, to flow towards the objects of desire or to entertain the desire. Because that is Adhishthana. So only when the Adhishthana is known, then Kama can be handled. Not known how it is to be handled. Therefore, Adhishthana, the centers from where the Kama operate, has to be known. So, say Adhishthana. Now, the next topic is Atma. Atma is free of desire, the center of desire. When the place that one's enemy, desire, operates from is known, Kama is easy to manage and take care of. So only when the day center, so the center from where the Kama operates, only when it is known, it can be handled. Now, where then is the Kama located? It is not in the Sachidananda Atma. It's not in the Atma, because Atma is, because although Sachidananda Atma is in the Kama, although Sachidananda Atma is in the Kama, without the Atma, there is no one. So Kama is, therefore Atma is. Atma is, therefore Kama is. So without Atma, there is no one, there is no desire, no condition of the mind whatsoever. If Atma is not there, where is Kama? Kama also is. Kama also exists because of Atma. So whatever the condition, pain or pleasure, Atma is there. Atma is a witness of that. Therefore, Kama is not in the Atma. So therefore, Atma is in the Kama. Kama is not in the Atma. Atma is everywhere. Therefore, it is in the Kama also. Therefore, Kama cannot have Atma as its Adhishtanam, as its locus. Atma is free from desires. Then how can Kama be located in the Atma? If you look into the Atma, there is no want therein. It is always clean, pure, untouched by anything, uncontaminated, untainted. But without bringing any material change in the object, the Atma joins everything. If Atma itself has attributes, gunas, its joining with a thought would result in a mixture, a compound. That is what Atma. Atma doesn't have any guna because Atma is not limited. Only that which is limited can have gunas, can enjoy gunas, can have avayavas. Atma is free of attributes, free of gunas. But it joins with everything. So joined with everything is within code. It's not literally. Everything is because of Atma. Therefore, a desire would therefore not be a discrete desire. It would be colored by Atma, which is not the case. If Atma has attributes, then if it mixes with a thought, then the desire will be a compound desire. It is colored by Atma, but that doesn't happen. Atma itself not having any attributes, no gunas, lends its existence, sata, and consciousness to everything obtaining in the mind. Therefore, Kama also gets the status of being existent, and the Kama is there in the buddhi, that is known that is there because of Atma. Therefore, the Atma only lends, in fact, existence to Kama, and the presence of Kama is known. That is because of Atma. Therefore, how can Atma can have Kama? Therefore it is free from want, free from Kama. The body, brain, senses also don't have wants as such, because they are anatma. But the wants always involve these locations. Body, mind, senses do not have wants. They are jada. But the wants always have these locations. The want is there, but what is the location of these wants? The location of want is the body, mind, and senses. Even though they don't have wants, but this person is a wanting person. He wants, and therefore, what is the location of the wants? This anatma, this body, mind, senses. Atma doesn't have wants. Anatma cannot have wants. Then this jiva, in between, he wants the wants for these locations. Almost all the kamas, the wants are with reference to sense objects. And without the senses, these objects are not known. How these sense objects are known? Sense objects are known only through the sense organs. So therefore, objects also, therefore, do not become objects of desire. Without senses, objects cannot become objects of desire. It is only through the senses an object can become the object of desire. Knowledge of the object as well as a desire for the object. Naturally, then the senses becomes a basis, adhishtanam, for the desires to arise in the mind. Through the senses, sense objects are contacted, therefore senses becomes the adhishtanam to start with. Therefore, the senses are said to be the adhishtanam of kama. Through the senses only, the desires are also fulfilled. Therefore, senses are said to be the adhishtanam. If senses are not adhishtanam, then we need not talk about dhamma. Senses are the adhishtanam, therefore, dhamma. In the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, we talk about samadhi shatka sampatti, shama dhamma, dhamma. And senses themselves cannot operate by itself. Backed up by the mind, it operates. Therefore, without the mind, without the manas, senses cannot function. Without the manas, there is also no want. What is mind? Mind is the reflected, chidabhasa, the consciousness reflected in the mind. Mind is nothing but the thoughts which are reflected thoughts, and that I want, that is also a thought. So without the mind, there is no want. So mind is there means there is want. And thus mind is also the location, adhisthana for kama. So indriyas are the locus, and mind is also the locus. The manas is the one that creates the fancies. It imagines that are the beginning of kama, sankalpa. Because the decision with reference to the fulfillment of a desire takes place in the buddhi, the intellect, buddhi also said to be the adhisthana. First is manas and then buddhi. Manas does the fancy and buddhi gives a green signal for the fancy desire. So therefore buddhi also said to be the adhisthana. For manaha, buddhihi, indriyani, all the three are adhishthanam for kama. Locus, the center where they are located. The place where they are located. Thus, with reference to kama, manas, buddhi, senses are the places of operation, the place from where they operate, as it were. When once kama is very powerful, it robs away the person's very wisdom, jnanam. It deludes a person. Viveka is overpowered by kama. In terms of earlier acquired wisdom, whatever knowledge he had gained, dharma, viveka, the person is as though blindfolded by his or a desire and is taken for a ride. This ride can be a very long one also, because when you wake up, you find yourself with all the damage already been done. This is kama. The removal of delusion. Now, having known the locus, adhisthana, now what can be done to remove the kama? Removal of kama is removal of delusion. What can you do about this delusion of desire? Desire of delusion. The desire itself is a delusion. Atma cannot have kama. Atma doesn't have kama. Anatma cannot have. Then what is that have this desire? Therefore, it's a delusion. With regard to your mind, buddhi, and senses, the places where the kama operates, be careful. Exercise your capacity to curtail or stop the senses whenever you want something that doesn't befit you. That is called dhamma. Restraining the sense organs, shutting down the sense organs. As said in the second chapter, in the Satapragya Lakshana, when Bhagavan talks about the Satapragya, he says, Yada samharate chayam kurmongani vasarvashaha. The kurma, the turtle, withdraws all the sense organs from the sense objects. The turtle, sense organs from the sense objects. The turtle withdraws its limbs. As the turtle, when it senses danger, withdraws the limbs withdraws its limbs and covers by its hard, that cover protects itself from attack by the enemies. Similarly, the person also should be able to withdraw the sense organs from the sense objects. So therefore, that kurma drishtanta is given. Kurma, as it pulls in the sense organs, the limbs, the legs, when it senses danger. Similarly, the person should withdraw his sense organs from the sense objects. When the desire, when when what he wants doesn't befit him, it's not appropriate, then he should be able to withdraw the sense organs from the sense objects. Any sense pursuit can be stopped just short of overt expression, as in eating, for example. Be able to say no, one more morsel, no. So one can always say enough, even though when from inside the desire keeps saying, come on, have a little more. To stop a sense pursuit at the level of the senses is called Dhamma. So, since desires are fulfilled through the senses, since the objects of desire are sensed by the sense objects, therefore sense organs are said to be the locus, and therefore it can be restrained. That is called Dhammaha. It's called Dhammaha. We have seen that one has no control over the wants that arise in one's head because of one's nature. You cannot say, I want to avoid this one, because you cannot avoid it. Your desires do not need to be controlled. In fact, your Prakriti Miyanti Bhutani, Nigraha Kim Karshati. Your Prakriti, your nature is the entire past, the remote past, and the immediate past. All the past put together is your Prakriti, your nature. So all of which you can give rise to a certain type of thinking and certain wants. Your likes and dislikes, Raga Dvesha, just happen. You cannot do anything about them. That is what Prakriti Miyanti Bhutani, Nigraha Kim Karshati. So what you can do is, however, is to keep a certain distance, space between yourself and your likes and dislikes, mental space, so that you enjoy freedom. In other words, you need not deliver yourself to them, not submitting oneself to the desires. This is what is called Shama. So Dhamma and Shama. Therefore, what here he says is Shama and Dhamma. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampati is what is highlighted. Therefore, two important disciplines, Shama and Dhamma, with reference to Kama. So Kama can be handled by Shama and Dhamma, by sense control and mind control. Although you need not worry about what you think, what you desire, it is also not to your advantage to do whatever you want based on your desires alone. Therefore, do not fall prey to your simple fancies and wants. Always look into yourself and see what is proper. Is it feasible, necessary, and useful to fulfill a particular desire? Is it proper? There might be anything wrong with the desire, but it may be quite legitimate, but not at all necessary. Or it may be feasible to fulfill the desire. You may be able to buy something that you want, but you need not but you don't need it. Therefore, why buy it? It may be useful, but is it necessary to have this particular object? Instead of simply buying it, consider first how useful it is in terms of your priorities. Having weighed all the factors, you can then go with the desire or not go with it. This deliberation is Shama. And if having gone along with the desire, you find that you want more and more, you then say no, thus far and no further. This is where you require Dhamma, which can be practiced daily whenever you feel like having another helping of food. Only when you practice Shama and Dhamma can you manage your wants. Otherwise, they will manage you and make a mess of your life. Therefore, taking the various factors into account, go with your desires, but do not let them make your decisions for you. Iti. So, Shama and Dhamma are the means of managing one's karma. So, Kama, the locus of Kama is Indriya, and this mind and the Buddhi, collectively called Antakaranam, which is called the mind. So, therefore, by Shama and Dhamma, by Shama and Dhamma, you can manage karma. Iti. We'll stop here. Next sloka we will see next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ धन्यवादः।